everyone, thank you for joining us. I am Alatishe Victoria, and here with me is my interpreter, Gideon Israel. This is the Inclusive News Network. We're bringing you the latest news on the major stories of persons with disabilities, necessary information and happenings around the nation and across the world at large. Now for the headlines. Ministry reinstates para sports to national sport. INEC deploys PWDs as supervisors, monitors, collations, returning officers. Lawmaker empowers constituents with grants and business startup capital. Oyo Assembly passes Persons with Disabilities Amendment Bill into law. 90 million Nigeria living with disabilities are registered voters. We'll be back in a jiffy to give you the major stories. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. The National Council of Sport in the annual meeting on Wednesday, October 19, 2022, reached decision to remove para sport on the 21st National Sports Festival (NFS) to be hosted by Delta State. According to a release signed by the Director, Press and Public Relations Mohammed Manga, the ministry, after consultation with stakeholders with sport, released para sport to be competed for at Festival. The following para sports to the National Sports Festival in Delta State include para athletics, para table tennis, para powerlifting, and deaf sports of athletics and table tennis. However, the ministry wishes to state that their events be limited to where Nigerian has competitive advantages. This decision was taken in the overall interest of sport development in Nigeria, as the National Sports Festival has become a flash games for the discovery, grooming, and empowerment of our youth athletics in Nigeria. The ministry condemns the action of some athletics who engage in some unwarranted acts of protest and blackmail without recourse to due protest. They are therefore advised to advise the channel of communication and processes laid down for hiring give rounds rather than public disturbance. Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has reviewed that it will deploy persons living with disabilities (PWDs) to serve as supervisors, monitors, collations, and returning officers during next year's general election. It also disclosed that in determination to serve the physical challenge better, it means more and reliable data on disability, particularly locations with the largest concentration of PWDs. INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu stated that at a campaign to promote the mainstreaming of people with disabilities in the electoral process, organized by Albino Foundation in Abuja. He also promised to dismantle all barriers against inclusion of PWDs in elective and leadership positions. The introduction of assistive devices, such as the Braille Banner's Guard, magnifying glasses, were all products of our engagement with the disability community. In implementing the provisions of 54 of the Electoral Act 2022, we will continue to engage with the disability community, without which the Commission cannot provide the appropriate interventions needed to facilitate their full participation in the electoral process. We are deploying for the first time sign language interpreters for the two houses of National Assembly and their salary to be paid for 3 years. We also need to attach a sign language interpreter to INEC chairman wherever he goes. The lawmaker representing Oluyole Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Tolulope Akode, was empowered our constituents with cash grants. The lawmaker distributed the grants and financial support to members of our constituency at Oluyole Local Government, Ibadan, on Saturday, October 2022. The Oluyole lawmaker also witnessed the graduation ceremony of beneficiaries of 3 other entrepreneurship programs which commenced earlier in the week. She said in the week, partnered with National Directorate of Employment (NDE) on entrepreneurship skills training program for women and youth in different agricultural entrepreneurship areas. A community leader, Mr. Dauda Adebisi, who enumerated the Oluyole Federal Representative's achievements, said that he knows that 26,150 beneficiaries who have benefited from our empowerment programs. Appreciating Tolulope Akande, Mr. Dauda hinted that within 30 months, the lawmaker has also facilitated installation of 33 transformers. He appealed to residents of Oluyole to vote for their representatives in 2023, that she has also provided over 21 boreholes in Oluyole local government. I did not expect that I would benefit from these empowerment programs, considering my South-Eastern Nigerian leadership, but today this woman has breathed a new life in me. Thank you, Tolulope Akande, for remembering me, she said, by Mercy Uzo. Oyo State House of Assembly has passed the Oyo State Persons with Disabilities Bill into law. The passage of the bill was called to the representation of the report representing by the chairman of House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Inclusion, Wumi Oladeji. The report was presented on the floor of the House on Thursday. Oladeji, who represented Ogbomoso North State constituency, said the law has made provisions for the establishment of an agency for persons with disabilities. She added that the NSC will be under the supervision of the state governor. While speaking further, said the law has provided for the equipment of 50% members of staff agency to be persons with disabilities. This will make it possible for persons with disabilities to live an easier life. Persons with disabilities include those with intellectual disability, people with vision impairment, hearing impairment, persons with albinism, persons on wheelchair, and physically challenged persons. They belong to the vulnerable group who need more psychosocial support more than any other people. Report has, however, shown that 30 million people living with disabilities in Nigeria as of today. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) said many of the 19 million Nigerians living with disabilities are registered voters and would do everything to dismantle barriers that exclude them from electoral processes. Speaking at a seminar to mainstream Nigerians with disabilities, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, said the National Population Commission (NPC) estimated that at least 19 Nigerians are living with disabilities. From our records, many of them are registered voters. We urge it a duty to our democratic and electoral processes, as well as national growth and development, to encourage their active participation as it says with equal rights. According to him, I report that a few years ago, the Commission accredited people with disabilities as elections observers. By this decision, Nigeria became the first country in Africa where PWDs in their own right observed elections, beginning with Edo and Ondo governorship elections in 2016. He said the Commission has launched the INEC framework on access and participation of persons with disabilities in the electoral processes. Beyond that, a new Department of Gender and Inclusivity, headed by a director, was established after the 2019 general election. Thank you for staying with us. Please kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe on our social media handles on your screen. Until next week. Bye.